Welcome to this week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Talking Newspaper podcast. This edition is published on Wednesday the 25th of March 2026 and has been read and recorded by volunteers for Bishopbriggs-based charity Cue and Review Print Speaking to the Blind for the benefit of local visually and reading impaired people.
Caught with Dirty Money by Connor Gordon. 3 men were caught with dirty money in their bank accounts after a £200,000 fraud. Scott McClellan, 31, Mark Patterson, 34, and Darren Smith, 35, received the cash on March the 15th, 2021. Glasgow Sheriff Court heard the financial controller of Welsh firm MVH Limited was duped by an unknown man pretending to be from HSBC Bank. The man told the controller that their account had been compromised and all monies had to be moved to a different account. An online search of the number the man called from appeared to be from the HSBC fraud department. An agreed narrative of the facts said, "The controller provided the man with all the relevant bank details. This enabled the suspect to access the business account. The caller transferred £199,986.91 into 22 beneficiary accounts. Later that day, a colleague noticed the transfers and immediately contacted the bank, as well as Action Fraud. An investigation uncovered that some of the accounts belonged to McClellan, Patterson and Smith. McClellan of Auchinleirn received £8,976.98. A total of £5,600 was recovered and returned to the bank and MVH 2 days later. Patterson of Glasgow's Milton also had £8,976.98 sent to his account, while Smith of Kirkintilloch had a total of £9,087.90 sent to his account. Smith was initially unable to be traced by police officers. The men all pleaded guilty to possession of criminal property. McClellan was given a deferred sentence and will return to court in 3 months. Patterson and Smith were each given 12 months supervision. That article was written by Connor Gordon and it was read by Jahan.
This week in history. March 29, 1960. Prime Minister Harold Macmillan and US President Dwight D. Eisenhower agreed on new proposals for a nuclear test ban treaty. March 30th, 1964. The seaside resort of Clacton was the scene of pitched battles by gangs of mods and rockers. On this day last year, Sir Keir Starmer and Donald Trump discussed productive negotiations towards a UK-US economic prosperity deal and agreed they will continue at pace in a phone call, Downing Street said. March 31st, 1939. Britain and France pledged to support Poland against any aggression from Hitler's Germany. On this day last year, a French court convicted Marine Le Pen of embezzlement and barred her from seeking public office for 5 years. April 1st, 1873, Sergei Rachmaninoff, last of the great Russian Romantic composers, was born in Oneg. He later settled in the USA. On this day last year, the Irish government won a vote of confidence in the Speaker of the Parliament. The government brought the motion after opposition parties initially proposed a no-confidence motion in Chean Cum Harley Verona Murphy, amid a heated row based on speaking rights and the circumstances of the formation of the coalition. That was This Week in History, read by Ian.
Police plea for holidays, a report by Julie Curry. Police officers are working closely with schools, youth services, community groups and parents to ensure young people enjoy the Easter holidays safely. It comes amid a recent spike in vandalism and antisocial behaviour in the Bishopbriggs area. Minor incidents such as vandalism, noise complaints, or groups of young people gathering in residential areas can have a significant impact on vulnerable residents and the community. With that in mind, the officers in East Dunbartonshire will be increasing patrols in parks, retail areas and known hotspots this Easter. The aim is not only to deter antisocial behaviour, but also to engage positively with young people, offering guidance and support where needed. Parents and carers can also play their part by taking simple steps such as knowing where their children are, checking in with them regularly and encouraging them to make positive choices. Local schools and youth organisations are offering a range of activities throughout the holidays, providing safe spaces for young people to meet and socialise. Police Scotland is encouraging families to make use of these opportunities. East Dunbartonshire Community Police Inspector Stuart Murray said, "As the school holidays approach, our focus is on supporting young people to enjoy their time off safely. School holidays can sometimes lead to an increase in antisocial behaviour, so officers will be carrying out community-focused patrols. We will be engaging with young people and offering support to our local communities. We're also asking parents and guardians to work with us by knowing where their children are at all times and supporting local officers in keeping people safe over the holiday period. By working together, we can ensure everyone enjoys a safe Easter break. We want young people to enjoy their time off. Most already make good decisions and contribute positively to their community. However, we'd ask them to please treat public spaces, neighbours and local businesses with respect and avoid behaviour that may cause alarm or distress. Officers' focus is on prevention, early intervention and community partnership. However, they will take action if necessary. Inspector Murray added, "We have seen a recent rise in reports of vandalism and antisocial behaviour in the Bishopbriggs area. We have a zero-tolerance approach to this and recognise the negative impact it has on the local community. We work with a range of partners to address this issue, provide solutions and determine any further measures which could be taken to prevent it. To deter such antisocial behaviour, we have additional high visibility and plainclothes officers patrolling the local area. Information from the public is crucial. If you have any information that may assist or witness any such crimes, please report it soon as possible and speak to officers. Please be assured that we will take firm and proportionate action against anyone engaging in antisocial behaviour. Anyone with concerns can report them via 101 through the Police Scotland website or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. That report was written by Julie Curry and read by me, Nikki.
Lennoxtown Pharmacy in running for National Award. This article was unattributed. The Scottish Pharmacy Awards will return for another unforgettable evening on Saturday, April 25th. Honouring the best and brightest in Scotland's pharmacy sector, a local firm are among those who have been shortlisted. M. Farren Pharmacy in Lennoxtown has been nominated for the Customer Award, a new accolade this year which is decided by customers across the country. Events Director Amy Stevenson said, "This award is brand new for 2026 and is especially meaningful because it is decided entirely by the people who rely on pharmacy most, their communities. The response has been incredible, with a huge number of votes and some truly outstanding comments already submitted. Across multiple categories, the awards showcase innovation, leadership, and outstanding contribution to patient care and community health. Amy added, "Pharmacies are so much more than places to collect prescriptions. They are communities in motion, powered by people who care deeply about the well-being of others. From the smallest rural village to the busiest city centre, every pharmacy team brings compassion, expertise and innovation to the heart of healthcare." The awards shine a spotlight on those who go above and beyond every single day, the teams who never stop finding new ways to support patients and strengthen their communities. The M. Farron Pharmacy team are now keeping their fingers crossed for the big night. Watch this space. That article was unattributed.
Quartets flew flag for our area at championships. A report by Julie Curry. Young musicians from a record-breaking 172 schools across Scotland competed in this year's Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships. Among the numbers at the Kilmarnock event earlier this month were two very talented young quartets from Eastern Bartonshire. Incredibly, both were placed in their category at the competition, receiving cash prizes for their efforts. Eastern Bartonshire School's A Quartet won the overall quartet category and a £300 prize. It consisted of bagpipe tutor Andrew Wallace and pupils Rachel Mooney from St Ninian's High School, Lewis Armstrong from Kirkintilloch High School and Callum Rutherford of Beauclair Academy. Eastern Bartonshire School's B Quartet were also celebrating, securing 5th place in the same category and a prize of £50. Headed up by tutor Andrew Wallace, pupils on the B team were Georgia Fenby and Erica Finocchi, both from Bishopbriggs Academy, and Orla Allison of Douglas Academy. Among the first to congratulate them was the Council's education convener, Councillor Linda Williamson. She said, "Well done to all the young people representing their schools at this year's Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships. And congratulations to those who did so well in the quartet section. Pupils from St Ninian's and Kirkintilloch High Schools and Beauclair Academy made up the winning group, while players from Bishopbriggs Academy and Douglas Academy took 5th spot. This is an amazing achievement at an event that was so well attended with such strong competition. I am in awe of the talent on display. They should all be very proud of themselves." Held at the William McIlvanney campus, the championships, organised by the Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust, welcomed 51 bands and 10 quartets from every corner of the country. Trust CEO Lindsay Mackenzie said, "To have 172 schools involved this year shows that piping and drumming in Scotland's schools is not only thriving, but becoming more inclusive and more accessible than ever before." What we saw at the event wasn't just competition, it was confidence, teamwork, and young people from diverse communities coming together through music. That report was written by Julie Curry.
PARS builds on Pie's success. This article is unattributed. PARS Foods Limited, one of Scotland's leading pie makers, has announced the opening of a state-of-the-art 14,500 square foot production facility, in addition to the current 15,500 square foot bakery in Glasgow. The new facility was acquired to meet the exceptional demand for its growing Pie Sports brand, reflecting strong growth across retail, food service and hospitality. Over the past year, Pie Sports has become a branded success story, securing substantial new listings with major retailers, including Aldi, Lidl and Scotmid. The firm is also synonymous with the world of football and is the pie of choice in many clubs, further cementing its reputation as a favourite among fans and shoppers across the country. Its rapid rise has created the need for increased production capacity, prompting the major investment in new facilities. The new factory will enhance production efficiency and support continued strategic growth, as well as creating new jobs. Brian Sarafilovich, Pars Foods Limited owner, said, "This new factory marks an important milestone in our growth. Demand for pie sports has exceeded all expectations, and this investment ensures we can continue to scale responsibly while maintaining the quality our customers expect. We are proud to strengthen our operations here in Scotland and excited for the next chapter." Leslie Cameron, Scottish Bakers Chief Executive, added, "It is fantastic to see one of our members' businesses growing from strength to strength." That article was unattributed.
Garage condition is upheld. This article is unattributed. Councillors have upheld a condition requiring archaeological investigations to be carried out at a site in Torrance before a garage can be erected, despite the applicant seeking its removal. East Dunbartonshire Council granted planning permission for the detached double garage at Law Hill Cottages. Based on input from West of Scotland Archaeological Services, it imposed a condition which requested a watching brief be permitted during construction. West of Scotland Archaeological Services noted the application required further assessment because the site was close to an area marked on an 1862 Ordnance Survey map, which recorded the discovery of an urn containing human bones, indicating the possibility of a burial mound. As the planning authority, the council is required to ensure developers address any archaeological issues. It was unanimously agreed the condition would not be removed from planning permission. That article was unattributed. It was read by E. £96,500 boost for project. Report by Julie Curry. Over £7.3 million in grants is being awarded to 29 organisations across Great Britain in the 13th round of the Ofgem Energy Industry Voluntary Redress Scheme. And £1.5 million will support 9 organisations in Scotland to deliver projects that help vulnerable households to reduce their energy bills and carbon emissions. Among their number is Cadder Home Energy Support Project, which has received a grant of £96,523. The project aims to provide energy advice and support to 500 households in Cadder through an accessible, responsive and collaborative community-based model. A full-time energy advisor will deliver hands-on support to households, empowering residents with the knowledge and tools to manage their energy use more effectively. The service will be open to anyone in need, regardless of housing tenure, and will focus on practical solutions, reducing energy consumption, resolving fuel debt, and advocating with utility providers. Advice will be delivered through a variety of channels, including telephone calls, virtual calls, home visits, drop-in sessions at Cadder Community Hub, and at community events. Key areas of support will include helping residents use heating systems more efficiently, offering guidance on energy-saving improvements, explaining utility bills and usage, supporting tariff switching where possible, and providing advocacy for those in debt or dispute with suppliers. The advisor will also work alongside internal teams and trusted local partners to identify those most at risk and ensure a coordinated approach is taken to energy advice. Catherine Scott, Ofgem Regularity Director, said, "This latest round of grants from the Ofgem funded Energy Redress Scheme is welcome news for some of the country's most vulnerable households. When energy companies breach the rules, We hold them to account and ensure that money is reinvested to trusted local charities and community groups. At a time when many households are under pressure from energy bills, this funding will help make a real difference, providing support for consumers. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Blue Triangle strike action. Union members at Blue Triangle Housing Association are set to strike on Wednesday, April 1. It is the same day social care workers in Scotland will see their hourly rates rise from £12.60 to £13.45 in line with the real living wage. Blue Triangle operates a rapid access accommodation and housing support service in Kirkintilloch. The union said the highly skilled workforce delivers life-changing care on wages that fail to reflect the responsibility, expertise and emotional demands of the role. The most recent pay offer made to staff was 2% for 24-25 and 1% for 2025-26. Staff voted to strike last October. Jennifer McCary, Unison Scotland social care lead, said charities like Blue Triangle Housing Association are suffering because of underfunding for a sector where low pay is rife. The care sector had its first national strikes in more than a decade last year, and once again, staff feel compelled to take action.
Andy proves age is not a barrier to having a laugh, by Julie Curry. Glasgow's sharpest older comedy talent is set to take to the stage next month as part of a new stand-up showcase celebrating the city's quickest wit. The Old Ones Are the Best will take place on April the 1st at the Social Hub, following a 4-week crash course in stand-up for comedy-curious locals as part of the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, or GICF. The initiative was created by the Social Hub, official community partners of GICF, and delivered in partnership with Age Scotland. Nominations poured in for the first-of-its-kind programme, which invited anyone with banter and a bus pass to step into the spotlight. A selected group has been working with award-winning comedian Viv G, who has taught stand-up for almost 30 years, developing material and preparing to perform live on stage. Viv said, "Working with these incredible people has been an absolute joy. Comedy has no age limit, and who has better stories than people who've actually lived a bit? They've learned how to find the funny in their own lives, how to structure a joke, how to handle a microphone, and, most importantly, how to trust their own voices. Audiences are in for a treat." Andy Burke, 67, from Springburn, is one of the participants, proving it's never too late to try something new. A retired marketing professional who spent around 25 years working in sales, Andy said humour has always been part of his personality. However, it's only in the past 18 months that he has started performing seriously. He said, "I'm technically a pensioner, but I've got no interest in slowing down. I've always been a positive person, and humour has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. Even in my working days, I realised that if you can make people laugh, it helps you connect with them straight away. Trying comedy later in life has been brilliant. After my partner Irene passed away 18 months ago, 2 wonderful friends, Catherine and Stacey, really helped me through a difficult time. They took me from the depth of despair to a place of acceptance. It was actually them who encouraged me to give stand-up a go. I absolutely loved it. You get such a buzz from making people laugh and seeing people leave with a smile on their face. My advice to anyone older thinking about trying something new is simple. Just go for it. You might be more gifted than you think." With their material ready and timing sharpened, the group will take to the stage for the final showcase at the Social Hub Glasgow. Ben MacLeod, General Manager, said, "Our spaces are all about bringing people together, sparking creativity and celebrating community, and this event captures that perfectly." Age Scotland's Chief Executive, Catherine Crawford, added, "Comedy brings people together. It builds confidence, fosters friendships, and reminds us all that joy doesn't diminish with age. We hope it inspires others to try something new, stay connected, and embrace the well-being benefits that shared laughter can bring." The showcase takes place in the Candlerigg Square venue from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on April the 1st. Pay as you feel with proceeds to Age Scotland. Tickets are on Eventbrite. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Counting on their exams, a report by Julie Curry. 18 adult learners in East Dunbartonshire are counting down the days until they sit their National 5 applications of maths examinations in May. Ranging from school leavers to retirees, the students have been working towards their Nat 5 qualification through the Council's Count Me In programme. The free course is being delivered by teachers in small classes and is designed to be accessible for those who may be unable to attend traditional further educational settings due to financial, health or caring constraints. Classes are held in both evenings and afternoons at Hillhead and Auchinairn community centres. Count Me In was fully funded with more than £100,000 from the UK Government's UK Shared Prosperity Fund. Education convener, Councillor Linda Williamson, said the Nat 3 and Nat 4 applications of maths courses delivered by the Count Me In team were well received. As many of the students sought to continue their learning, we decided to run a Nat 5 course in the lead up to the May 2026 SQA exams. It is the first time a National 5 qualification has been delivered free of charge in small, informal, face-to-face sessions to adult learners in East Dunbartonshire. All 18 students successfully passed their prelims in January and are working hard towards their final examinations in May. The National 3, 4 and 5 applications of maths courses are just a few of the many delivered through the Count Me In programme since its launch in August 2023. Focusing on developing and promoting numeracy and learning opportunities for local adults, they include Count Me In for cooking, sewing, family games, mastering money and numeracy skills. Councillor Williamson said, "Since August 2023, the Count Me In team has made learning accessible to local residents by providing classes in schools, community centres and local businesses. To date, just over 500 residences and people working in the area have enrolled. It has been the launchpad for some learners to go on to access further education." Local mum Lisa is among their number. She attended the Count Me In family numeracy workshops at Twecker EYC, then a Count Me In for sewing class, run in collaboration with Stitch the Gap at CIC in Kirkintilloch. She later applied to East Dunbartonshire's Parental Employment Programme and was successful in gaining employment as a support for learning assistant. Lisa said, "I had the pleasure of meeting the Count Me In team not once but twice. The first time was during my child's time at nursery. They came in weekly to help parents with young kids, help them more at home with maths. We both enjoyed it. My child now loves maths and is thriving academically at primary school. The second time I got to attend sewing classes. Every single member from CMI and Stitch the Gap was incredible, and I met some great people. What I learned there far surpassed what I expected. I'm now in a job. I love using the skills I learned to help pupils at work and my own child at home. I'm very grateful. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Pupils pitch in to clean litter. This article is unattributed. Pupils at a local secondary school are playing their part in reducing litter and carbon emissions. New recycling bins have been located around the school grounds at Christon High School, one of 3 North Lanarkshire schools taking part in the initiative. The bins were provided by the Council's Waste Services team as a pilot project. Each bin has sections for paper and card, glass, metal and plastic, and general waste. Councillor Helen Loughran, Environment and Climate Change Committee convener, said, "Recycling waste is a simple but important way we can all help reduce carbon emissions and tackle climate change. Our curbside waste service makes it easier for residents to recycle their household rubbish, and by providing these bins in schools, we are encouraging young people to dispose of their litter responsibly from an early age. Well done to the pupils at Christon, Clyde Valley and St Andrews High Schools for raising awareness of the impact of litter on our local communities. It was inspiring to hear the commitment and enthusiasm of the pupils who are making a difference to the environmental issues affecting us all." The council is also supporting environmental charity Keep Scotland Beautiful's Spring Clean campaign, which started on March 13th and brings people together to take part in community litter picks. Visit www.keepscotlandbeautiful.org/clean-up-scotland/spring-clean-scotland to sign up. That article was unattributed. Generations are working together. Initiative enables both seniors and pupils to learn as they work together. This article is unattributed. St Joseph's Senior Citizen Lunch Club members in Steps have teamed up with Steps Primary School's digital leaders to take part in a new round of digital learning sessions. The collaboration forms part of North Lanarkshire Council's award-winning Driving Digital Locally programme, which brings generations together to strengthen digital skills in older residents, while offering pupils valuable opportunities to grow their confidence, communication abilities and social awareness. Over 4 weeks, pupils worked side by side with their senior partners on iPads at the Lunch Club. Together, they explored everyday digital tasks designed to help participants feel more capable in an online world. Digital leaders developed important life skills, practicing patience, active listening and guidance. Head teacher Jennifer Gardner said, "Our digital leaders at Steps have thoroughly enjoyed their experience of working with the senior learners. Not only did this allow them to develop their learners' digital skills, it also helped the children develop their own leadership and meta skills. The children would like to thank everyone for allowing them to be involved in such a fantastic project." One of the seniors, Linda Bowie, said, "Working with the pupils in the digital project was a real joy. They showed me things I never thought I'd understand, and we had such a laugh together. It reminded me that learning never stops, no matter your age." The author of that article was unattributed. It was read by Ian McKenna.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026. A milestone in renewing board's public confidence by Julie Curry, reporter. The newly established Safety and Public Confidence Oversight Group has met for the first time. It is part of NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde's commitment to strengthen assurance and public confidence in the safety of the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, QEUH, and the Royal Hospital for Children, RHC. Members agreed that the work of the group must focus on communication with families, public and staff, as well as issues relating to ventilation, water and infection control. The group considered the programme's structure, strategic intent and key priorities. Membership includes a number of independent experts alongside patient and family representatives, senior clinicians, infection control and estate specialists, and NHS GGC executive and non-executive leaders. It will report to the NHS GGC Board and Scottish Government, focusing on 4 key areas: public and family engagement and the communication, professional relationships, staff engagement, leadership and culture, hospital-built environment, infection prevention and control and issues, and have recommendations arising from the Scottish Hospitals Inquiry. The group is co-chaired by Professor Sir Lewis Ritchie, an independent, and Professor Jan Gardner, NHS GGC's Chief Executive. Sir Lewis Ritchie said, "Public confidence in healthcare depends on trusts, transparency, and willingness to listen and learn. This group has been established to provide robust, independent oversight of priority safety issues, to ensure that concerns are examined thoroughly and that progress is clearly communicated. Just as importantly, it will help ensure the voices of patients, families and staff are heard and reflected in the work ahead. Alongside its oversight role, the group will support the development of clearer public information, regular updates on progress, and improved routes for engagement with families and staff." At the first meeting, it was noted that an urgent independent environmental assessment of Ward 4B has been commissioned. Further investment is being directed towards the development of a new bone marrow transplant unit, and an expert reference group is being created to support the programme. A dedicated web page will also shortly launch, which will be updated regularly and report on the group's work. Professor Gardner said, "This meeting is a milestone in renewing public confidence in the care we provide. I believe that the establishment of this group can signal a new era in patient safety and transparency. I know how important it is for patients, families and staff to have confidence in the care they receive from us and the environment in which it is delivered. While a great deal of work has been undertaken to improve safety at the QEUH and RHC, I recognise the strength of public concern and the need for openness and continued independent scrutiny. This new oversight group provides an additional layer of assurance, working closely and openly with our key stakeholders." The meeting clearly marked that commitment, and I look forward to working with this group in the coming weeks and months.
Wednesday, 25th of March 2026. Family announcements. Deaths. Dick, Bill, peacefully at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on March 13th, 2026, after a short illness. Beloved husband of Jean, a much-loved dad and granddad. Funeral service will take place on Thursday, April the 2nd, 2026, at Bishopbriggs Crematorium for 1:30 p.m. Family flowers only. That was the only family announcement this week. Excitement bubbles for town hall shows. A report by Julie Curry. An extra chance has blown up to enjoy the ultimate bubble show in Kirkintilloch Town Hall. Thanks to soaring demand, the venue will now host 3 family-friendly performances by the brilliant Ray Bubbles on Sunday, April 19th at 11 a.m, 1 p.m, and 3 p.m. The show offers a sparkling whirlwind of excitement and surprises, including jaw-dropping bubble sculptures, incredible effects, and fabulous fun. Magic will be in the air as Ray creates a volcano, carousel, ghost, and a tornado, all using bubbles. The show is suitable for children and adults of all ages, including those with additional support needs. Ray, who thrilled families in more than 150 venues, as well as the Edinburgh Fringe in 2025, is even aiming to create a square bubble during his Eastern Bartonshire pit stop. He said, "Tickets are selling so well for Kirkintilloch Town Hall that we thought we'd better add a third performance to make sure no one misses out. We're thrilled that local families are keen to come along and enjoy the show, and I want to make sure it's an event they'll remember in the Easter holidays. I'd advise everyone who comes along to prepare to be entertained, amazed and buoyed up by a bonanza of bubbles and family fun. I'll also need their help too, either on stage helping me to perform my tricks or singing along in the audience. This really is a show for everyone. I can't wait to see you all there. As founder of Paris Bubbles, Ray works in schools, science centres, theatres, festivals, weddings and at corporate events across the UK. Last year alone, he notched up more than 100 theatre dates, 30 science centre gigs, and more than 60 school shows, proving just how popular his act has become. The Ultimate Bubble Show, presented by Paris Bubbles, takes place at 11 AM, 1 PM and 3 PM on Sunday, April 19th in Kirkintilloch Town Hall. The performances are perfect for an end-of-break treat for youngsters before they return to school. Tickets are priced £9 per adult and £7 per child, with an additional booking fee. To book your time slot and tickets, visit www.edlc.co.uk. That article was written by Julie Curry and read by E. McKenna.
A social concern. Liberal Democrat MP for Mid Dunbartonshire Susan Murray has urged the UK government to introduce age ratings for social media platforms. Susan believes it will help protect children from accessing harmful content online. She has called on the UK government to take rapid action to limit the harm being caused to young people through social media. Susan said, given the serious harms caused by under-regulated social media, we have a responsibility to act. That is why I'm urging the government to introduce age ratings for social media to help parents and carers keep children and young people safe. Not every film is suitable for every age group, so we rate it. Not every game is suitable for every child, so we rate it. Social media should be no different.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald, date Wednesday the 25th of March 2026. Opinion section. The letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNSCOTLAND.co.uk. Please write letters in the subject field. Keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Drill baby drill won't pay the bills. Sir, I have been struck by those who claim that the route to lower oil and gas costs is to drill further in the North Sea. It seems quite straightforward. If Britain produces more of its own oil and gas, household energy bills should fall. However, the impact on energy bills of a drill baby drill approach, as most recently demonstrated by the University of Oxford Smith School, is minimal. This is because producing more oil and gas in the North Sea would not create the UK's own special supply, as claimed by some, nor could its price be set specifically for UK citizens. That's because any new production would be sold on international markets at international prices. Even if the UK maximised North Sea extraction and returned taxation revenues directly to households, the reduction in energy bills would be at most a modest £82 per year, far smaller than the savings expected from accelerating the shift to renewable energy. A faster transition away from gas-powered electricity, with the price of electricity set by cheaper and less volatile renewable energy, rather than by highly expensive gas, would cut household energy bills by 3 times as much as maximising North Sea oil and gas. The best way to keep energy bills low in the long run is to reduce dependence on gas altogether, and staying the course on clean energy will not only slash household energy bills, but render the UK truly energy secure for generations to come. Yours, etc., Alex Orr, by email. Active April campaign. Sir, bowel cancer is the UK's fourth most common cancer and its second biggest cancer killer. We know that one way of the ways we can reduce our risk of developing bowel cancer is by taking part in regular exercise. This April, for Bowel Cancer Awareness Month, Bowel Cancer UK are encouraging people to do something active every day as part of our Active April campaign. Whether your readers would like to challenge themselves to reach a fitness goal or get active in their own way, every movement they make in Active April will bring us closer to a future where nobody dies of bowel cancer. Sign up at www.bowelcanceruk.org.uk. Yours, etc., Genevieve Edwards, Chief Executive, Bowel Cancer UK. Missed opportunity. Sir, what a great shame that our MSPs did not have the courage of their convictions to pass the assisted dying bill, having voted strongly in favour at stage 1. It seems those MSPs were more fearful of supposed coercion, yet one could only choose this route if one has less than 6 months to live. The safeguards introduced into the proposed bill were possibly the strongest of any country in the world where assisted dying is in place. Further, the views expressed in the desire to improve palliative care will simply not come to pass as the required funding will not be forthcoming. The reality around this vote means those in pain and dying have been denied the right to make a choice as they approach the end of their lives and, undoubtedly in my view, our MSPs have missed the opportunity for once to deliver something of real benefit to the people of Scotland. Yours, etc., Richard Allison, address supplied. Wheeler Dealer. Sir, as Donald Trump is so fond of deals, why don't the EU and UK leaders show some initiative and tell Mr. Trump we'll help him out of the mess he's created in the Middle East by allowing the United States to use our airfields, and we'll provide escorts for shipping to the Straits of Hormuz if he commits his military muscle to throwing Russia out of Ukraine? Or is it too late as we've already agreed to help? Yours, etc., Graham M. MacLeod, by email. Remember Barnett? A better future away from Westminster, claims John Swinney on another misguided flight of fancy. The First Minister has conveniently overlooked the £41 billion subsidy Scotland currently receives annually from much maligned Westminster. It is highly unlikely Scotland could survive out with the UK, the Barnett formula being the most common basis for fiscal calculations. It is a mystery as to how the SNP government has survived 19 years. What is even more of a mystery is why so many otherwise sane Scots have voted for this seriously underperforming collection of politicians. Yours, etc., Doug Morrison, by email. That was this week's letter page, read by Ian McKenna.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026. Plan to tackle threats to country's native species by Julie Currie, reporter. An ambitious plan to prevent, detect, eliminate and control new and existing invasive non-native species, INNS, has been published. Invasive species are a major cause of nature loss in Scotland, and climate change is predicted to increase their number even more in future. They have already resulted in substantial reductions of some seabird populations and rare woodland lichens. INNS are increasing on land and in freshwater and seas, affecting important ecosystems like islands, temperate rainforests and peat islands, and iconic species such as puffins, water voles and red squirrels. They also affect Scotland's economy, estimated to cost the country at least £500 million a year. Many of these costs are shouldered by agriculture and forestry, as well as by the construction, tourism and transport industries. INNS can also act as hosts for the spread of diseases, increasing risks to human, animal and plant health. Climate change creates ideal conditions for species to spread and can amplify the effects of climate change. For example, breeding seabird populations are already struggling with invasive brown rats eating their eggs, while INNS plants like Himalayan balsam make riverbanks more vulnerable to erosion. The INNS Action Plan, a key element of the Scottish Biodiversity Delivery Plan, sets targets to reduce the rates of new and established INNS by at least 50% compared to 2000 levels, as well as to eradicate or control them in priority sites. Dr. Colin Galbraith, Nature Scot chairman, said, "Invasive non-native species have an enormous effect on Scotland's nature. They contribute to the climate emergency and are one of the biggest threats to Scotland's spectacular native wildlife. It's crucial we work together to stop their spread, and this action plan lays out a roadmap to do just that." There has always been great work by projects such as the Scottish Invasive Species Initiative and Peatland Action, but we need to step up the pace even more to keep Scotland's nature healthy and able to deal with the effects of climate change. The priority for tackling INNS is preventing their introduction and spread in the first place. This is more cost-effective and less environmentally damaging than tackling invasions once they have happened. We all have a responsibility to help stop the spread, whether it's checking your boat or avoiding planting INNS in your garden. Every action counts. Many organisations are already tackling INNS, including the Alliance for Scotland's Rainforests and others working to restore Scotland's remaining temperate rainforest by eradicating Rhododendron ponticum. Others are working to raise public awareness and change behaviours through initiatives such as the Check, Clean, Dry campaign for water sports and Be Plantwise for gardeners. More than 2,500 land managers and volunteers are also involved in protecting our habitat, reporting invasive species through the Scottish Invasive Species Initiative and Saving Scotland's Red Squirrels campaign.
Oz is winner for young players. A report by Julie Curry. Kirkintilloch Players youth team have won the Scottish Community Drama Association Glasgow District Youth Trophy. Their success at the event was cemented during the SCDA's One Act Festival, which was held in the Fort Theatre, Bishopbriggs, at the beginning of March. Youth team's play, Oz, by Don Zolidis and directed by Lorna Campbell, also won the Ronnie Mackey Memorial Trophy for the most imaginative use of light and sound for the second year in a row. The youths now go on to the Western Divisional Final, which will be held at the East Kilbride Arts Centre at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, March 29. Here, they will compete with several other West of Scotland youth teams for the overall divisional title. In the Adult Festival, also held at the Fort Theatre, new Victory players from Glasgow's South Side won the first place in the City of Glasgow trophy with The Last Nickel by James Shepherd. Kirkintilloch Players' adult team were second, with Epic Love and Pop Songs by Phoebe Eclair Powell and directed by Hilary Linus. It was awarded the Amateur Theatre Trophy. Third were Antonine Theatre Group with Bull by Mike Bartlett, directed by Christine McCandlish and Nikki Glenn, which was awarded the Ballantyne Trophy. The adjudicator for both adults and youths was Jim Gibson. The new Victory players now go on to the Western Divisional Final, also held at East Kilbride at the end of March. Founded in 1923, the Kirkintilloch Players is one of Scotland's oldest amateur drama clubs. Based at the Turret Theatre, the club performs a variety of works including dramas, comedies and pantomimes. Members also have a strong history in the SCDA One Act Play Festival, producing acclaimed youth and adult productions, including winning the Scottish Youth Final in 2024, just a year after celebrating the Players' centenary. The Scottish Community Drama Association is also celebrating its own milestone year in 2026, its centenary year. The association exists to encourage the development of volunteer-led theatre arts in Scotland. Came into being in 1926 after Geoffrey Whitworth, founder and director of the British Drama League in London, received an invite from the New York Little Theatre movement to send out the best of British drama to compete in its annual festival. In the early years, the winning teams from the Scottish Festival competed in London in the British final. In those days, the winner of the Howard de Walden Cup from the British Festival was invited to go to New York to compete against the best of American amateurs. These days, the SCDA organises and promotes popular and successful festivals across the country, runs playwriting competitions, and offers training in all aspects of theatre, including acting, set design and construction, and costume and makeup. It also provides access to thousands of plays available on loan to members through its National Library in Summerhall, Edinburgh. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Good morning to you. Yes, Philip here from Q and Review, reading the church news from the Kirkintilloch Herald. And hopefully you're having a good day so far. I am. Well, it's early in the morning here when I'm doing this, and it's because it's my birthday today. Yay, happy birthday to me. Anyway, if it's your birthday this day or this week, have a good one. And we're going to the church news, of course, to Milton Campsie. We are now well into Lent. Pick up your draw near reflections at the church and begin some life-giving habits for Lent. Go Mad's plenty. Reflections are being well received on Facebook and Instagram. Well done, Team Go Mad. This week, our Easter Messenger magazine will be put through every letterbox in Milton Campsie. It's well worth a read. This Monday, 2 p.m. Hobbies Group, 7:30 p.m. Badminton Club, and Tuesday, 9 a.m. Cafe Connect. This Wednesday, 7 p.m. Time to Pray. 7:30 p.m. The Fellowship will hear from Jim Pert about the Forth and Clyde Canal. Yes, and the BB at Campsie Church meeting Friday. Anchor Boys from 6 p.m. till 7, Junior and Company sections from 7 till 8:15. Sunday, March the 19th, 10:45 a.m. There's a praise march to the cross and back before Palm Sunday services at 11 a.m. Thursday, April the 2nd, 11:30 a.m. Ecumenical prayer walk starting at St Paul's. For more information, you can check out www.mocpc.org.uk. And now to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service in person is at 10:30 with Stuart Irvin, the minister. During the service, the youngsters meet together in Crest Junior Church, etc. If you want to know more about the services, they're also online as well. Check out Torrance Parish Church online.church. Palm Sunday Crass, March the 29th at 3 p.m. Please join us on Palm Sunday afternoon to spend time together, have fun and make Crass. Help us think about Easter. All ages are welcome. For the sake of planning, it would be really good if you could sign up the Palm Sunday Crass Torrance Parish Church. To find out about regular weekly activities, check out the website for what's on at tpc.org.uk. St David's Memorial Park Church on Sunday, March the 29th. Our service to celebrate Palm Sunday will be led by Karen Wallace. This will be a Cathay-style church service which will take place in the large hall at 10:30 a.m. Everyone is welcome to enjoy tea, that is, and coffee and fellowship after the service. Our seated lunchtime service will take place as usual on Tuesday, March the 31st at 12 noon. In the small hall. Tea and coffee will be available after the service. Yes, of course, it will be welcome. So hopefully if you go along there, you will be made very welcome. And now to some other church news from various other churches. And some of them are quite long. So sit back, buckle up, and pin your ears back. Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street on Sunday. There will be a communion service. And then there's Coffee Corner. On Wednesday from 12 noon until 2 p.m. Join our friends and neighbours for coffee and home baking. On Thursday is our next Bible discussion group at 11 a.m. when we continue our journey through the Bible. And topic of this time is the Babylonian captivity and return of the Jewish people. Our Easter service takes place on Sunday, April the 5th at 4 p.m. The programme features music from our praise band, video clips, and the speaker is Len Burgoyne from Kilmarnock. Refreshments will be served after the service. A warm welcome to everyone who is able to be with us on this Easter Sunday. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit their website, allthews.regenthall.org. And now we move to St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, March the 29th will begin at 11 a.m. as usual, and there will be age-appropriate activities in the halls for young people during the service. Wednesday welcome continues on Wednesday, March the 25th, when tea, coffee, home baking and a warm welcome awaits you from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. When a short service takes place on Wednesday, April the 8th, we will be holding our annual Easter egg hunt in church. Tea and coffee will be available all day for the whole family. Further details will be announced soon. Now to St James Church in Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. There is a communion service at 11 a.m. on Thursday, March the 26th in the chapel, and on Sunday, March the 29th, Palm Sunday, in the chapel at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m. in the church with hymns, and everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea, coffee and fellowship afterwards. There is also virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media page. That is on Facebook, St James Elias Bishopbriggs, and our website, yeah, you guessed it, stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Now, St Cyprian's Church. Each week our main service of worship is sung Eucharist on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Our priest in charge is Reverend Audrey O'Brien Stewart. Usually takes the service. All are most welcome to attend. In addition to this, there is also a said Eucharist in the choir vestry on Thursdays at 10 a.m. To access this, please enter by main church door and walk up the aisle and a few steps and go through the door on the left. Step 3 access can be arranged via the hall entrance if needed. If the church door is locked, please use the hall door. We have a small Sunday school for children from age 4 which meets during the first half of the service. All children are most welcome at St Cyprian's. There is a library with children's books available at the back of the church, as well as colouring materials available to use during the church service. We welcome wriggling noises as it reminds us of God's love for us all. Wow, I like that. And there will be refreshments and a time of chat in the hall after the service, live streaming via Zoom. If you're not able to come in person, you can join the services live over Zoom. Visit the website, stcyprianslenzy.com for the link that is, and for more details, check out the website. Check out the week's various events that they're having. Holy Week will include Sunday, March the 29th, 10:30 a.m, Palm Sunday Eucharist. Wednesday, the 1st of April, 2 p.m, Stations of the Cross. Thursday, April the 2nd, 7 p.m, Monday, I think that's how you pronounce it, Thursday, foot washing service with stripping of the altar, followed by night vigil, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Late night one, if you want to go out late at night. Later Friday, the April the 3rd, 9:30, Good Friday, prayers of the reserved sacrament. At 10 a.m, a walk of witness, starting from Lenzie Old via St Mary's, 11 a.m. to St David's for a service at noon. 7 p.m, Good Friday evening worship, location to be confirmed. Saturday, April the 4th, 9:30 a.m, Holy Saturday prayers, followed by flower and church preparations until noon. Sunday, April the 5th, 10:30 a.m, Easter Sunday Eucharist, followed by Easter egg hunt. On Saturday, March the 28th, the winter series of music at St Cyprian's continues with a concert by the Ito String Quartet, and our final concert of the series will be on Saturday, April the 25th, when we welcome back local percussionist Callum Hugan. For more details, check out the visit, that is www.musicstcyprians.co.uk. Tickets for adults is £12.50, under 18s are free and are available on the door from www.ticketsource.co.uk/music at St Cyprian's. Lenzie Old Parish Church, Reverend Sheila Blunt and Graham Blunt will be leading our Palm Sunday worship on March the 29th at 11 a.m. Time Out, the social group for ladies of all ages, is having an AGM on Monday, March the 30th at 7:45 in the church hall. The Quilt and Craft group meet every Wednesday, 10 till 12 noon, in the session room. Thursday Afternoon Club is on Thursday, March the 26th, 2 till 4 p.m, Enjoy tea, coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes and Uno, etc. And if you prefer, you can just sit back and chat or do your own knitting. There are books for sale and donations go to Women's Aid. Cottage Country Dancing is on every Thursday, 7:30 till 9:30 p.m. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship and you'll be made very welcome. And now to Springfield Cambridge Church, last but not least, because it's quite long, so pin back your ears again. Springfield Cambridge, the following are the intimations for the week beginning March the 23rd. On Sunday, March the 29th, morning worship will be conducted by Ian Taylor, assisted by his student minister. The sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sunday school will meet in room 2. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Morning worship is also live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found at springfieldcambridge.org.uk and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Teas and coffees will be available after church in the Cameron Hall. There will be a vestry on Wednesday, March the 25th at 10 a.m. for anyone who wishes to speak with the minister. There will be a short midweek service on Wednesday, March the 25th, that is, from 11:10 to 11:30 and followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join them in supporting the Eastern Berkshire Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard in the cloakroom. A list is attached to the cupboards for special items that are required. Lodging house mission are available. Again, an inviting congregation to donate Easter eggs which can be left in the Hall of Fellowship until Palm Sunday, March the 29th, or taken directly to the lodging house mission yourselves. On Sunday, March the 29th, there will be the first of the Holy Week services taking place in the church at 7 p.m, and all are welcome to attend. And here is a complete list of the services as follows: Holy Week and Easter services. Palm Sunday the 29th, 7 p.m, Springfield Cambridge Church. Monday, March the 30th, 7 p.m. at Cadder Church. Tuesday, March the 31st, 7 p.m. at Kenmure Church. Wednesday, April the 1st, 7 p.m. at St Matthew's Church, Stations of the Cross. Thursday, the 2nd of April, 7 p.m, St James the Less Church, including Holy Communion. Good Friday, April the 3rd, 7 p.m, Woodhill Evangelical Church. Tuesday, on Easter Sunday, April the 5th at 11 a.m, our service will include the sacrament of Holy Communion. So there you have it. That's all the church news for this week. Quite a long one this week. And hopefully you can manage out to one of them. One of the services in the morning or in the evening or midweek. So God bless you at this Easter time. May you know God's presence in your life.
District news. Meet Hugo, a bouncy and brilliant 3-year-old collie. Handsome Hugo needs a home. Hugo has a zest for life and a heart full of love. He is a playful pooch who's always ready for his next adventure. Not only is Hugo full of charm and character, but he's absolutely stunning. With his sleek coat and dazzling blue eyes that sparkle with curiosity, he turns heads wherever he goes. This energetic boy is looking for equally active humans who understand the fun and the challenge of high-energy breeds such as collies. He thrives with mental stimulation, and he would be the perfect companion for someone who loves training games, puzzle toys, or tossing a ball around the garden. For more information, go to www.dogstrust.org.uk. Holyrood View, Championing Issues Important to You, by Jamie Green, MSP. Before I get into the main body of this column, I'd like to express my thanks to everyone who wrote to me throughout the assisted dying debate. It wasn't easy, to say the least, and I respect everyone's views on it, but I want to put on the record my thanks to all of you. This week the Scottish Parliament closes its doors as politicians, campaigners and volunteers prepare to hit the election trail, aiming to get your vote. Once again, I'm standing on the regional list for West Scotland, which includes Eastern Bartonshire. This means that if you want me to continue the job I've been doing, you can use your peach-coloured ballot paper. On the constituency vote, that's your lilac voting paper, you can vote for a great Lib Dem candidate. Adam Harley is a dedicated, conscientious local man who lives and breathes this area. He will be a great MSP. It's a two-horse race between Adam and the SNP in Strathkelvin and Bearsden, and your support really matters. For my own part, I've been proud to pressure the Scottish Government into taking action to fix Lindsay Academy and to sort out fire safety in schools across the country. The SNP has let this slip, but I assure you that sending Adam and me to Holyrood will mean we continue to push for our young people to have school buildings that are safe and fit for purpose. Earlier this year, I led on my party's negotiations with the Scottish Government over the budget. Where other parties stood their toys out of the pram and refused to do the hard work, I sat across the negotiating table from the Finance Secretary to get something from it. This resulted in over £300 million in extra resources for causes that are important here, including small businesses, hospices and young entrepreneurs. A vote for the Scottish Liberal Democrats will ensure that our community has a strong, dedicated and effective local champion, acting as the adults in the room and standing up in Holyrood for the things that matter to you. By Jamie Green, MSP. Groups. Seniors Forum. Kirkintilloch and District Seniors Forum. Our long-established forum are looking for new members to join our monthly meetings. The objective of the forum is to assist in improving quality of everyday life for the elderly community, together with social events, guest speakers from NHS, council, local history and many more. We welcome the over 55s to come along and have a chat, get involved and meet new people, forming new friendships. We meet in the Park Centre, 45 Kerr Street, Kirkintilloch, G66 1LF, on the last Thursday of every month from 10:30am to 12 noon. Tea, coffee, biscuits served. Friends of Forth and Clyde. Friends of Forth and Clyde meet every Friday from 12 noon till 2pm at the Boat Users Block, Southbank Marina, Kirkintilloch. Everyone is welcome to come along and get a free cuppa and some friendly chat. No membership required. Canal Society. Forth and Clyde Canal Society are looking for volunteers to assist with servicing and maintenance of their fleet of vessels, and volunteers to act as crews/stewards. Full training given. Contact operations at forthandclyde.org.uk or call 07498 965 368 for further information. St Columba's Men's Club meets in St Columba's Parish Church Halls every Monday evening at 7:30pm. If any man is interested in joining, just turn up on a Monday evening. What's on? Male Voice Choir Annual Concert. St Mary's Parish Church, Saturday, March 28th at 7pm. Their guests this year will be a brass group from the Kirkintilloch Band. Tickets available from Ticket Source. Uzbekistan, a journey along the Silk Road. Join photographer Duncan Gray for a visual tour through the heart of Central Asia. Follow the ancient Silk Road across Uzbekistan as we explore the tragic modernity of Tashkent, the mythical beauty of Samarkand, the bustling trading legacy of Bukhara, and the timeless, walled city of Khiva. Alongside breathtaking photography, Duncan will share fascinating stories of the rich history and enduring allure of these legendary cities. William Patrick Library Talks, Tuesday, March 31st from 6pm to 7pm. Free, but book through Eventbrite. And that was this week's District News, as of Wednesday the 25th of March 2026. Sport. Football. Gibson's anger at a lack of matches. Report by Brian Newell. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy boss John Gibson is annoyed about his side's lack of matches this month. Rob Roy have only taken to the pitch twice in March so far. A 3-1 win at home to Petershill on the 4th, and a 2-2 draw as they hosted Vale of Clyde on the 14th. Indeed, They have only played 8 matches in total since the turn of the year, which included 2 cup ties. They were idle again at the weekend before returning to action this Friday, when St Roch's are the visitors. Rob Roy are aiming for promotion from the West of Scotland First Division. However, with sides having played anything between 15 and 23 games, it is impossible to say who will finish in the top 8. Gibson told the club's media team, "We've only played 2 fixtures so far in March, which is ridiculous for this level, and it's probably hurt us a wee bit. We had a 10-day break before Vale of Clyde, and now we're in the middle of another 13 days break before St Roch's, and that's just not acceptable. However, we've got to deal with what we get dealt with, and we'll be ready for when we come to the next game. It's a tight league, and most of our next few games are against the sides around us, but we'll approach them as we always do by looking to win." West of Scotland results: First Division, Petershill 1, Whitless 1. Second Division, Ashfield 2, Campbellsfan Rangers 1. Three Rovers 3, Caledonian Locomotives 0. Third Division, Craigmark Burtonians versus Glasgow Perthshire, abandoned. Fourth Division, Campbelltown Pupils 2, West Park United 3, Rothswell 0, East Kilbride YM 5. Fixtures: Wednesday, tonight, First Division, Petershill vs Irvine Meadow. Friday, First Division, Kirkintilloch Rob Roy vs St Roch's. Saturday, Second Division, Caledonian Locomotives vs Kilsyth Athletic, Larkhall Thistle vs Ashfield. Third Division, Finnart vs Glasgow Perthshire. Fourth Division, Carluke Rovers vs Rossvale, West Park United vs Wishaw. That piece was written by Brian Yule and read by Ian McKenna.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026. Making a splash as EDLC look to recruit lifeguards. East Dunbartonshire Leisure and Culture, EDLC, is running national pool lifeguard qualification courses over the Easter period. This comes as the organisation has job vacancies for permanent and supply lifeguards needing filled. The courses, which have a minimum age of 16 years old, will take place at Kirkintilloch Leisure Centre and Allender Leisure Centre next month. Running for 4 days at a cost of £260, confirmation of course booking upon full payment only, the courses will be held from April the 13th to the 17th at both locations. A spokesperson for EDLC said, "If you're looking to gain a valuable qualification or start a rewarding new job, then become a lifeguard this Easter with EDLC. EDLC are running national pool lifeguard qualification courses, perfect if you're ready to dive into something new. Whether you're looking for a new qualification, flexible work, or a long-term career, this could be the perfect opportunity to make a splash." The starting salaries for lifeguards in EDLC is from £13.64 per hour, with all the vacancies being advertised on My Job Scotland. In addition, EDLC is holding a recruitment open day for lifeguards leisure assistants at the Leisure Dome in Bishopbriggs this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. A number of posts are available, ranging from 14 hours per week up to 37 hours per week, with interviews and swim tests being carried out on the day. For more information, visit
www.edlc.co.uk/recruitment-open-day. Cammy Brown is looking forward to the start of the campaign. Countdown to Bonanza of Speedway. Article written by Phil Lanning. Glasgow Tigers boss Cammy Brown believes it's going to be a glittering start to the season with the BEN Fun Bonanza. The first meeting of the campaign sees some of the top names in Speedway battle it out in aid of the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund. The BEN Fun Bonanza, sponsored by Allied Vehicles, takes place at Ashfield Stadium on Saturday, with a fabulous lineup already announced. Among the favourites will be former Grand Prix winners, Tigers number 1 Chris Harris and Berwick Bandits star Peter Kildemand. They will be joined by current Glasgow star Kyle Howarth, as well as ex-Tigers Tom Brennan, Nick Morris, Justin Segman and Dan Thompson, plus Tate Zieke and Danny King. The fund exists solely to offer support and assistance to speedway riders who have been seriously injured. Brown said, "This is going to be a fabulous start to the season at Ashfield. The lineup of riders will be glittering, that's for sure. I'm sure that fans from around the UK will want to see this field of riders giving it everything on such a great racetrack. The Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund is such a marvellous cause, and it's been so vital for so many riders and more to come. It's so good that the sport in this country has got such a fabulous charity looking after the riders. The Ben Fund is always an interesting meeting and the perfect way to get the season underway." Thompson, who moved from Tigers to Edinburgh Monarchs over the close season, explained the importance of the fund. He said, "I had been lucky I hadn't ever really been injured, but then I dislocated my shoulder the year before last, and then last year broke my scaphoid. The BEN fund could not have been any more helpful or beneficial, and I know all the riders are very grateful for that help. We would be a bit stuck without it. It's a very stressful sport when things go wrong, so to be part of this meeting is really cool." The action gets underway at 6 p.m, and tickets are on sale at events.livet.io/Glasgow-Tigers-Speedway. And that article was written by Phil Lanning.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald for Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026. City are aiming to right the wrongs in Cup Final, by Brian Yule, reporter. Glasgow City captain Lee Gibson says the SWPL 1 leaders can't allow one result to refine their season. City suffered their first league defeat of the campaign as they lost 1-0 away to Rangers on Sunday. This saw their lead at the top cut to 4 points, which Celtic now taking over in second after Hearts were also beaten. City also travelled to Celtic last midweek as Natalie Robles saved a point late on after Saoirse Noonan had given the home side the lead. The only goal of the game at Broadwood on Sunday arrived in the 91st minute when Laura Berry was brought down in the box and Katie Wilkinson grabbed the winner for Chairs from the spot. Gibson told the club's media team, "It was a difficult one to take with the late penalty being given, but I don't think we played well at all. I thought in possession we were really poor. We struggled in parts of the game, just really disappointed not to take a point, but that's football." City will need to regroup ahead of the Sky Sports Cup final this Sunday as they take on Gers at Fir Park in Motherwell. Gibson said, "One game won't define our season. Of course it's really disappointing at the moment, but we've got a week to rest, recover and then play them again in a cup final. We don't like the feeling of losing, we're not used to it, but we need to take a lot of lessons from it because we weren't good enough. We want to come back out on Sunday and right the wrongs. Of course we are playing the same team, so we know we need to be up another few levels. Over the course of the season we've shown we can do that, so we need to move on quickly." Gibson made her 300th appearance over 2 spells with City, having returned to the club from Swedish outfit Malbackens IF in 2017. She said, "It's special. I've obviously spent most of my career here and I love the club. I love what it stands for. The values are certainly the same as mine. The play once was excellent, so to wear the top 300 times has been nice." Tickets for the cup final will be £12 for adults and £5 for concessions.
On the starting grid to raise funds. This article is unattributed. British racing driver Ben Collins is coming to Bishopbriggs tomorrow, Thursday, to speak at Send Scotland's first ever sporting dinner. The event takes place at the Molesdale Foundation's museum on Westerhill Road, home to a breathtaking collection of over 400 classic cars and motorbikes. Hosted by Alex Fleming, the guest speakers will be Collins, better known as the man in white, the white suit, aka the Stig in Top Gear, and former Fifth Gear presenter Johnny Smith, who now hosts the Late Break Show Attendees will get access to the museum, as well as hearing from the guest speakers, auctions, a prize draw, a glass of fizz upon arrival, and a 3-course dinner. All the money raised will go towards supporting people with complex sensory disabilities and communication support needs. Collins said, "I'm really looking forward to meeting such a like-minded car audience for such a great cause. It's going to be a fantastic night for fellow car fanatics." Smith added, "Sense Scotland does incredible work for people with complex needs and sensory disabilities. I'm proud to be part of an event that won't just be fun, it will actively make a positive difference in people's lives." Tickets for the event are now sold out, but there is still time to bid on dozens of great auction lots at www.weareeventpal.com. A spokesperson for the charity said, "We're excited this will be a Send Scotland event like no other, all to raise funds for the people we support." The author of that article was unattributed. That's the end of this week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Talking Newspaper podcast, as published on the 25th of March 2026. If you want to reach out to Q and Review on social media channels, we are @Q and Review. That's @CUEANDREVIEW. All being well, there will be another podcast next week.